Card Wars is a fun card game based off the cartoon Adventure Time. It's a game that they played in several episodes of the cartoon. I recommend you play the app. It's on the Play Store. I would play that first before you play the card game. That'll give you an idea how to build decks and how to play. But we're going to do the card game today, which is pre-built decks. We're not going to go into any deck building today. It's a lot simpler to do the pre-made decks. I have with me today the Finn and Jake deck. I also have the BMO and Lady Rainicorn deck. BMO and Lady Rainicorn, one of these is Plains, the other one is Swamp. Jake is Cornfields and Finn is Blue Plains. This game is played, it's a little complicated, but like I said, I would recommend playing the app first to get an idea, and it's free download. But there's first let's start off with the different types of cards. There are creature cards. On your creature card in the top left, it'll say what the activation cost is. That is, you get 2 points during your turn, and if they cost 2, that would be your whole turn. If they cost 1, that would be one part of your 2 parts you can do for your turn. On the bottom left is their attack value. On the bottom right is their defense. So you'll understand that better when we get to attacking. That's your creature cards. There's also buildings. They have their activation cost at the top. Like I said, you get 2 actions on your turn. And there's also spells. Most of those cost 0, and they're usually a rainbow color. Like I said, there's plains, cornfields, swamps, and what was the other one?
Desert.
Desert. I'm here with my son Devin. We're going to play in just a moment. So when you build a deck, rainbow can go with any deck. It's a card that can go with any landscape of a deck. But those are the types of cards.
It's the
anything
like
card.
in Pokemon.
Right, like in Pokemon. A lot of games have that, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. So we just went over the creatures and the types of cards. So on your turn, what we're going to do is we're going to take, hold on a second. When you buy a box of these, you get 2 decks. You can also buy booster packs to build decks, but we're not going to build one today. We have the Finn deck and the Jake deck. My son's going to play with the Jake deck, which is Cornfields. I'm going to play with the Blue Plains deck, which is Finn's deck. On your turn, there are 7 parts to a turn. At the beginning of your turn, you're going to untap everything, kind of like in Magic, where you tap to show that you've done something with that card. At the beginning of your turn, you're going to ready your cards and bring them back to facing the right way. Step 2 is draw a card. You're going to have your card pile and your discard pile you're going to draw. We forgot a step. Draw 5 cards off of your deck. Then we'll go back into turns. So we both draw 5 cards off the top of our deck. So back to step 1, we ready our cards because last turn we possibly already used them. Then we draw a card. I'm going to go first, draw a card. Third part of our turn is you have 2 actions to spend. Remember I said the action cost on your card, some of them are 2, 1, and 0. Those are your 2 points that you can spend on actions. I'm going to do the building mobile home, I can't pronounce these. Your building goes on the bottom of your landscape, and each one of your landscapes has lanes. They're referred to in the rule book as lanes. So when you put a creature down or a building down, you want to put it opposite the other person's creature or building so that they can fight. If your monster is not across from somebody that they can fight, then that attacks the player, and the player has so many hit points, which we'll get to in a moment. And if you defeat that player's hit points, then they're done and the other person wins. So that was my 1 of 2 points, the Woad Mobile Home. And I'm going to save my other point for later. Step 4, Floop. Some cards allow you to floop them, which means you would turn them to the side and do what it says on the card. It says here, my floop would be move a creature in an adjacent lane to this lane if the lane is empty. I can't do that right now, so I'm not going to floop, but that's the time you would do a floop. 5, spend 1 action to draw a card, and I may play the card that I just drew. I'm going to play, my second point is the pig. He may floop, but I already passed my floop phase. Now it's time to fight. We're just going to pretend. I have to tap him or turn him, and then he does 1 damage, which is the attack part on the card. So now Devin has just taken 1. Player has taken 1. Because I can, but I'm sorry, it's a demo. It's okay. I know. Why? Now it's your turn. End of turn. So start of your turn, ready your cards. You don't have any to ready. You draw a card. You draw 1 card. You have 2 actions to spend, and your cost is on the top left corner of the card. Okay. 2 actions to spend.
I am using both of them.
You're going to play a 2-point card to bring out the Cornator. When Cornator enters play, deal 1 damage to your opponent for each cornfield landscape you control. And you have 4, so I, player, take 4 damage. We're going to use these little beads, or you can use dice to keep track.
Attack phase.
Right, and then it's your attack phase. Okay, well, let's go through the steps so everybody at home knows. So you spent your 2 actions. Can you floop anything? No. Spend 1 action? No. To draw a card? No, because you used 2. Then you may fight. So now you're going to attack me.
For 2.
You have to turn your card. Your creature attacks me. My defense is 4. Your attack is 2. So I take 2. Once I've taken 4, my defense is 4. Once I've taken 4, that creature's gone. Okay. It's been a little while since we've both played this.
Yes.
Yes. So then, end of turn. Yes, I'm confused too. But we're going, okay. My turn. We reset, which just means we turn our cards. I draw my card. I have 2 points I can spend. I'm going to put out there Suzanne Jin. Blue Plains creature, +2 attack for each flooped creature you control. I'm going to floop my pig and flip over one of your cornfields so you can't use it. And then he gets +2 attack for each flooped creature I control. I'm attacking you for 1. And there we go. As you can see, this game it's pretty fun, but it's a little complicated. I did explain the turn order and how turns work. I hope you enjoy this, and thank you for joining us. Hold on.